What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a review for Insecure. This is season 4, episode number 9, and the episode is titled Lowkey Trying, you guys. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into the episode review. Alright, you guys, so the episode, it opens up, and the episode, we see Lawrence and Issa. Now, you guys remember in last week's episode, Lawrence and Issa, found their way back to one another. So this week we see them, they just chilling out on, looked like it was Lawrence's couch that they were chilling out on. And, we saw them having sex a few times, which was cool. So then Issa got a text from Nathan. So she brought up Nathan to Lawrence. And, she was talking about the fact that, she used to date Nathan. And Nathan has asked her to help him move into her apartment. And, she just wants, with Issa right now, with her and Lawrence, they don't necessarily know what the situation is with them. But Issa wants to, be honest with Lawrence about whatever it is that they're, doing. So then she also asked Lawrence, had he talked to Condola? He says yes, that he's talked to Condola, and that, the relationship is done between he and Condola. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. Like, I like that. I like that Issa is now going this route of, being open and honest with Lawrence. And then she asked him about, this whole, him going to, is it San Diego, you guys? He says he has one more interview that he has to nail before he knows for sure if he's gonna be going to San Diego. So, for right now, things are good between Lawrence and Issa, and I'm actually kind of here for it at this point. So then let's move over to Molly. So we see Molly. Now Molly is with her therapist. And I'm glad that her therapist was checking her, because Molly's thing is she wants to place blame on everybody in her life. She wants to place blame on Victor, which, yes, Victor was wrong in what he said when they were in Mexico. She wants to blame her father. That situation had nothing to do with you, Molly. If your mama chose to forgive your daddy, that was your mama's thing. And then, this whole situation with Issa. Molly wants to place all the blame on Issa as if Molly has no Molly has no fault in this. And that's what the therapists are trying to get her to see. Like, you're trying to place all this blame on Issa, your father, Andrew's Victor, and then with Dro. Now, when it comes to that Dro situation, Molly, you can't blame anybody but yourself, because you are the one that sat there and got involved with a man that you knew was married. So when it comes down to the Dro situation, I never feel sorry for Molly, because Molly put herself in that situation. Also, speaking of Molly, the actress that plays Molly, Yvonne Orji. If you guys haven't already checked out the HBO special that she did on Saturday night, Mama, I Made It. Check it out. I enjoyed it. Now I know I saw some comments where people said that they didn't laugh and find it funny. It is what it is. I support our black sister, so shout out to her for that one. But again, when it comes to Molly, come on, girl. Like, your therapist is trying to make you understand that you do have some faults in this situation, so own it. But let's move on, you guys. Alright, you guys, so I hope the glasses are not distracting. I'm doing my best to try to keep my eyes level so that way the lights don't shine into them, but it's kind of hard. But, so we move over to Issa. So Issa, I think she was at her place. So Issa, she was calling, trying to get some advice. She called Kelly. She got Kelly's crazy ass voicemail. And then she called her mom. So what it is, Issa wants some advice on what to do when it comes down to this whole situation between her and Lawrence, and then her and Nathan. Now, she called Amal. Amal couldn't really help her. And, I see where Issa's coming from. She's in an interesting predicament. Nathan is her ex, and then she is in this grace area when it comes to Lawrence. They haven't necessarily said that they're back in a relationship with one another, but they've been spending a lot of time with each other. So I get where Issa's coming from. Do I think Issa's overreacting? I can say a little bit. I would say just a little bit. Cause I mean, as long as you set boundaries and guidelines with Nathan, let him know, hey, I'm back with my ex. Me and you, we can be cool, we can be friends. But as far as us, trying to rekindle where we left off, I can't do that. So then, she goes to her phone. She comes to Molly's name, and then she calls Molly, and she's telling Molly that she wants to meet up with her, make things right between she and Molly. And then she starts to talk about, she is back with Lawrence, and she talks about the Nathan situation. And then Molly goes off on her. I'm like, whoa, chill out, Molly, chill. But then it's actually just Issa overreacting and thinking about what Molly might say to her. But she does eventually end up calling Molly, and she leaves Molly a voicemail. And she tells Molly that she just wants to meet up with her. And I'm like, wow, Issa is a lot better than me, because I don't think I would have reached out to Molly, you know, because Molly did the fool at the block party. So Molly should reach out. I feel, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel that Molly should have reached out to Issa, because you came to her event and you did the fool there. Now, yes, you were upset about the situation between Andrew and Issa, which it really wasn't Andrew and Issa. Issa asked you. You turned Issa down, so Issa then went to Nathan, who's best friends with him, for a favor, and he asked his friend. His friend said yes. So to me, I still don't understand why Molly got as upset as she did. You said no. Issa was like, cool, I'm not gonna ask you no more. I'm gonna go ask his friend. So I didn't understand that situation. So then we do see Issa and Molly, they meet up with each other. At first, it was really, really awkward with those two. And then they started having a conversation with each other. And the conversation was really light and really awkward as well, because Issa was talking about Tarian and him rollerblading. And, like I said, the conversation, it was a good conversation, but it was kind of like, you putting a band-aid over something that you cut yourself. You didn't clean it, you didn't do anything to the wound. You just slapped the band-aid on it. Or like if you're cleaning up your house, you got a carpet and you just sweep all the dirt up under the carpet, you're not really cleaning, because you're not getting rid of the dirt. You're just putting it away for a different time. And that's how I felt with this whole situation with Issa and Molly. Neither one of them were really addressing what the true elephant in the room is. And the true elephant in the room is your friendship and mostly the block party. So let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So after the lunch was over with, oh, excuse me, y'all. After it was over with, we had two, not four, two different interpretations of how it went. So we're going to first start with Molly. So we see that Molly, she went back and she saw Andrew, and she explained to Andrew what happened when she and Issa met up. She said it was okay, but they didn't really discuss the block party or anything that's happened, prior to the block party. Now, Andrew feels that Molly should have met Issa halfway, and I agree with him. Like, Issa was the first person to reach out. So when you go to sit down with Issa, you could have been like, yo, Issa, like, I appreciate you reaching out to me, and I get that you want to, work on this friendship and get our friendship back to some kind of normalcy, whatever that means, however that looks. So I agree with him. She could have definitely met her halfway. And she, like I said, thank her for saying, hey, you were the first person to reach out. So now let me be the one to get the conversation started, to get the ball rolling. Let's try to figure out, like, what happened. What's going on in your life? Let me tell you what's going on in my life. And then just try to, come to a common ground, a middle ground. But that's too much. I guess it would be like too much like right for Molly. So then Andrew also tells Molly that his brother got them tickets to the Clippers game. And she's like, you know what? How about you go? And he's like, but my brother is kind of extending an olive branch to you, so you're just not gonna ever see him again. And I'm like, here go old Molly. Like, you got a good guy. And yes, do I believe that Victor was insensitive? Absolutely. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of, and even after I looked at it, even after I go back to, last week's episode, or whenever, that was last week's episode. No, that was 2 weeks ago. So even when I go back to that episode, and it's actually kind of similar to what's going on in the world currently, I get it. Molly might have been putting on a lot, but and we don't necessarily know what happened with that whole key card situation. It could have been what Molly was saying it was, and it could not have been. And I feel like, and this might not be the best comparison, but I'm gonna use this comparison nonetheless. I feel like Molly is the Black Lives Matter movement, and Victor was the people who say all lives matter. So now I kind of see where Molly was coming from. And I do understand what Molly was saying to him when she said that, they're minorities when it's convenient for them. So, I mean, I definitely understand Molly, but I think at the same time, it's Molly that we're talking about, so we all know that Molly does overreact to shit. So, I don't know how it was, I don't know. I feel like Molly should sit down with the brother, have a conversation with him, much like what she should do with Issa. Sit down, have a conversation. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. If it does, cool. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So now let's move to Issa. So we saw Issa, and she was with the girl that was working with her at the block party. And I'm guessing they're trying to come up with another event. But at this point, they don't have a name for it just yet. So, Issa then, as she's getting in her car, she gets a call from Lawrence. So she asks Lawrence, so how did, the interview go? He says, I think it went well. And then she tells him that she reconnected with Molly. And it's a different interpretation. Issa feels that things went really well between Molly. She feels like, she's ready, pretty soon she'll be ready to invite her back to Self-Care Sunday. So Issa at this point is optimistic about the friendship, whereas Molly was like, it was okay. It wasn't what I expected. And, I really felt bad. I felt bad for Issa, I will say that. Because if you can see that Issa is trying. She's putting forth the effort. Molly, not so much. So then we see Issa. She gets ready to go over to help Nathan move. She's trying to figure out how to, speak to him. Konnichiwa. What did she say? What else did she say? She said some other stuff, but then when she finally gets to his door, what's up, my nigga? Or she just called him or she just said my nigga. And things are just hella awkward between him and, Issa. It's really more so Issa, not Nathan. So Nathan did tell Issa that, I think the guy that owns the shop that he cuts hair in, he's stepping down, and him and his homeboys are gonna take over. And they start having a conversation, and she was talking about what her rates are, and he's at this point he's flirting with her, and she notices it, and she's like, ugh. So then she tells him, me and my ex, we are kind of sort of back together, not together. We don't know what the situation is. He said the same ex that you cheated on. I'm like, oh, Nathan, no, don't do that. So then she says, yes, that ex that I cheated on. And then, he's talking about how, well, I hope he's better this time. And I'm like, ooh, Nathan. Again, double negative. Like, you ghosted Issa. And Issa mentioned that. Well, at least he didn't ghost me. And then Nathan explained it to her. He says the reason why I did what I did is because I was diagnosed as bipolar. And, she was like, well, you know what? I really do thank you so much for telling me that. So then, let's move over to Andrew and Molly. So we see Molly returns to Andrew's place with takeout. And, he's asking her, she's asking how was the game. He says the game was good. I lied to my brother and told him that you had to work. She says, well, I didn't tell you to lie. He says, so you're just going to never see my brother again? And then we see Issa and Nathan come in because they're picking up Nathan's stuff. And it's very, very awkward. And, Molly's and Andrew say, hey, why don't you guys stay for dinner? And Issa was like, yeah, we already ate absolutely nothing. So they said, okay, we'll stay. So then they stay, and they talk about, Molly asks about Nathan's new place. He tells her about it, and she's like, yeah, it's really nice. And then they talked about Issa's first apartment, and they talked about these games they used to play, and it was a game where they would drink if they did, they would try to guess the height of a celebrity, and they would, if they got it wrong, they would drink. So they played. They were like, well, Nathan was like, well, let's play the game. And he was like, I don't know about that, but Mom was like, yeah, let's let them play it. Now, when they said that, what's his name? Bernie Sanders is 6 feet tall. I don't see it. I mean, I know TV can make you shorter. I mean, I know TV weight is different, but God, I would have never guessed that Bernie Sanders is 6 feet tall. So they run. They didn't. They ran out of the alcohol. So Andrew had to go get some more. Molly fucked up because she thought she was texting. Um, she thought she was texting Andrew. She said, "See, I'm trying with her." And Molly and Issa saw the text message, and she texted her back and said, "I don't think this text message was. I don't think this was meant for me." And Molly's face dropped to the floor. I'm like, "See, Molly, this is where I was upset with Molly. Again, Issa's putting forth the effort. I don't really see much of effort coming from Molly, so I was just really kind of upset with her. Like, damn." And then when Issa walked outside, and they were talking, and Molly said, she felt that the friendship has, moved apart from each other. They're different. They're different now. They're not the same people that they once were. And he was like, okay. And then Molly kind of got mad at her, and I'm like, Molly, why are you getting mad? Again, Issa is trying with you. It doesn't seem like you're putting forth any effort with Issa. So, what are you upset about? But you guys, that was Insecure. So be sure to like this video. Please leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Also share this video. And until the next one, you guys, please stay safe out there and take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.